But today we just started a new series called When We Give. I was thinking about for my my English speakers just have to say this, and also I'm gonna say this in Spanish. That's my first series talking about money and my entire life. So it's so hard to, as we read, we just read the word of the Lord. So as we get near to the end of the calendar year, you might say, no, we still have a few months. No, we're almost there. We just got left 2 months. So our thoughts go to giving. Christmas is coming to you. Christmas is coming, so you think about buying, giving. If you don't, you should start thinking about it. Sometimes I say Christmas is a time to celebrate. For many people, it's more time to get stressful. But it's not that. But the gospel brings about radical change and which way we believers to regard the money. I'm going to talk about the money, but the gospel brings about a radical change in the way in which believers regards money and possession. The ways in which the gospel leads us to understand things as different is so different than way the culture leads us to regard money and possession. For a couple of weeks, we are going to take a look at what the Bible says about money, possession, giving, and generosity. I think it's going to be really great. So we are studying in the book of Proverbs as we read, which is a very hard book to study. Every verse is on different subjects. So in order to get there, a set of Proverbs and any particular subject, you have to kind of go into the mind, pull out the nuggets and arrange them. We went through and pulled out 8 proverbs on the subject of money, possession, and generosity for our sermon this morning. Okay, tonight. It's not night, right? It's morning. Yeah. So, what they are going to show us in the money is a tremendous power. It's exert a huge power in our lives. We also want to see why and how it does that, and then how we can break the power of money over our lives. In a sense, we are going to learn 3 things. We are going to learn the money exercises great power over us, and why it exercises great power over us, and how to break that power over us. So money, let me start with this. Money has a great power. You know that? Money has a great power. Believe it or not, money has a great power in self. Money is either good or bad. The problem is money never exists in self. It always exists in somebody's life. It's in somebody's life. And there it magnifies and amplifies whatever is in the heart. For example, Proverbs 10 verse 16 is fascinating verse, and they say the wages of the righteous is life, but what? But the earning of the wicked are sin and death. Right? It is very striking statement. In other words, here is a righteous person. When we talk about a righteous person, when money comes into the life of the righteous person, it creates life. When the money comes to the right person, it will create life. It will create good life for the people, good life for the community. I mean, if there's a person like who loves God, who is a righteousness, and then he start making money, he's gonna start thinking about how he's gonna build his community. He's not thinking his money, or it is only for him. He thinks the money belongs to the community, so he returns to the community. But if the money starts coming into the witness people, right? Did I say right? That person is going to be thinking about himself and only for himself. The righteous person have this in mind. I got the money, I'm making money, but I'm not making for myself. I'm making this money to build better community, to build better my family, to build better employees, to make a better life for the people. I mean, the money for the righteous person, it's not thinking that money belongs to him. It belongs to the Lord and the community where he lives. The witness people always think about is mine, and only belongs to me. So that's what the text say. The text say the wages of the righteousness is life. I mean, he creates lives. When he gives us money, when the Lord gives us money, when the Lord gives money to the righteous person, it will be create lives. Good lives and stuff like that. And in the book of Proverbs, it say, witness person is someone who disadvantages the community to the advantage himself. That's what it is. So the power, the money has a lot of power. If we got money, we got power. That's not true. That's what it is. The companies got the money. I mean, when I think about the money, it's the power of the money. I just remember I'm gonna bring some experience on my own life. I just remember that we were negotiating about the contract and stuff like that, and I faced the president of the huge company that for what I work, and they came with a case, and he told me, you know what it is? You can have the people, but we got the money, and we able to throw this money to the church, but I'm not gonna give you nothing in your contract because we got the power. Do whatever you want, but we're not gonna give you the money. So that's the power of the money. With the witness people, it create death. That was the verse saying. But in the right hands, it create life. So money brings temptation for dishonesty. Money doesn't just have the power to make or break communities, but it also has the power to make or break your soul. Not only, money has a bunch of power. It has power to break communities, to break the family, money has a lot of power, but not only that, money brings temptation for dishonesty, and he can break your soul. He can break your soul. In these verses, we see money has enormous power to make us dishonest, shallow, and arrogant. How so? Let's start up right here, verse 11. Proverbs 11, verse 1 say, the Lord, what does it say? The Lord detests dishonest scale, but the accurate weights find favor with him. What do you mean? The text say something interesting. It doesn't just say the Lord doesn't like dishonest scale. Do you see what he say? He detests. When you don't like something, you can say, I don't like something. I don't like, let's say, I don't like spaghetti. Sorry, if you like it, that's fine, but I don't like spaghetti. You can still eat it, even when you don't like much. But it doesn't say, it doesn't like, he say, he detests. That's honesty. The reason that is someone, in the community, and the word for this is abomination. That's really hard word. But let me say this, something else. Money has the power to make you shallow and superficial. Back to Proverbs, verse 11, chapter 11, verse 4. Look, wealth, what is it? It's a worthless in the day of the wrath. But righteousness delivers from death. I couldn't hear, oh my God, what a conviction, what a convicting verse. The day of the warning says, it might be not what you're thinking. The mother, especially Christian readers, look at the phrase "day of the wrath" and thinking judgment, man. But it's not what it means right here. Right here is the wrath here means when the things coming back to your life. That's what it means. It's not for the end of the day. It's not for the. And this verse, what it means when your health goes away, when your family goes away, when you're struggling, when your life and your health and all those things. That's what he's talking about. The day of the wrath. When you've been alone and only you alone, stay there. That's what he said. That's what it means. Not until you get into the presence of the Lord or the wrath of the Lamb. It's not the idea of this verse. This is saying wealth is worthless in a day like that. This can be taken a couple of levels. First of all, it means one terrible days when the news is terrible and the danger is awful. On the day of tremendous grief, your money is totally worthless. It will not help you face it in any way. Only your character will enable you to face those days of the wrath. Here's what is interesting. It's not just that it's a worthlessness. It is the sense that it doesn't help you only character, but the implication here and other places in the Bible explain this. Is a lot of emphasis or making and spending money can allow us out your character so that you are not ready for the day of the wrath. For example, I have you ever noticed making money takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time, right? To make money, it takes a lot of time. How many hours do you need to make $600? Don't count it. It's a lot of time. It's a lot of hours, right? You might have to have 2 jobs, not for that much, but to make a lot of money. You may have, or maybe you take a job where you make a good amount of money, but it takes up all your time. Making money is extraordinarily time consuming. It makes you incredibly busy. Not only that spending money makes you incredibly busy in a life in which you are spending and making money. You are busy, really busy, that you can even develop your character. You don't have time for being alone with God. There's a lot of things with the money. Let me move forward because I'm seeing the clock over there. So the main point is money has enormous power to destroy your life, destroy a community, and make or break your soul. Why does it have so much power? Why? So let me say why. I think the answer to that is in these 2 verses. More in the center of your text list. Go back with me, Proverbs 18, verse 10 to 11. I think I said on the screen. The name of the Lord is a fortified tower. The righteous run to it and are safe. Are you with me?
Yes.
The wealth of the rich is their fortified city, they imagine and they walk to high to scale. It's really interesting, this verse. For me, this is really interesting. These are two remarkable texts. The first one can be and has been an entire sermon all by itself. But in the Egyptian is kind of hard to pronounce. The putting them together, that is so interesting to understand. If you have to understand the idea of the cities, we have different ideas. We have a different idea with the cities that they have, that the idea they have in the past. In the past, the city represents secure, represents safe. You can live out of the city. That way, if you go all the way back to the 1700s, to the 18th or whatever hundreds, centuries, you will find all those great cities with the walls around. Not because they don't want immigrants, no, because they're trying to protect their families. When they're talking about cities, the name of the Lord is a fortified tower. The righteous run to it and are saved. People live in the cities because they want to feel safe. But if you go at the end, it says it is the imagination. It says the wealth of the rich is their fortified city. They imagine it a walk to high scale. What I'm trying to say is people use the money as a fortified city, a place to be safe, a place to be secure. They trust in the money, but the money can go away very fast. Even we can lose our health very fast. Very easy, very simple. People can die very fast. No matter how older we are, we are in the world where we can lose our job, or we can lose our life very easy. But what he's saying, the name of the Lord is a fortified tower. The righteous run to it and are what? Saved. But the wealth of the rich is their fortified. What I'm trying to say, we shouldn't put our faith and our hope on the money. Because if you continue verse 10 says, let me say this. There was no great security, or there's no great security than the verse 10 says. The name of the Lord is a fortified tower. The righteous run to it and are safe. Let me say this. Who we believe, how we gonna keep safe in our lives? Trusting in the money and the Lord. Say the name of the Lord. There is only one fortified city, one tower to run into. It is a name of the Lord. It doesn't just say the Lord. It doesn't just say the Lord. It says in the name of the Lord. God's name in the Bible is always who He is, and His attributes and qualities. Let me be practical as possible I can. When things are really unsafe in the world, and things are really ready to overthrow you, when you are righteous, scarlet and worry, and you can sleep at night, where do you go? Where is the safe place? The answer is the name of the Lord.
That's right.
Let me give a practical example. If you are a Christian, you know I can give you 4 things you know are true of God. You know are true of God. 4 aspects of His name. He is your Father. He knows everything. He is absolutely control of history. And He loves you indefinitely and everlasting. He will do anything for you good. If you drop any of those 4 out and you don't have the real, let me repeat this. If you drop any of those 4 out and you don't have a real God, the biblical God, if you keep them together, run into it, rejoice and grasp and grasp it, meditate and think of it, and you will start to feel finally safe. So let me give you the money give us a false security. Every so often you hear about somebody who died. Maybe you read about people just save money to feel secure, right? How you feel when you just have $10 versus $10,000? See, I see your faces.
The same.
I don't feel the same. We're struggling. If you got $10, I feel like you just got $10. But if you have $10,000, I think I feel like, oh, I have a secure account that can help me to run my life at least for the next 5 months, right? So you feel secure, but the money it gives you false security, secure. So secure. For many people, also money is a false god. It can be your secure. It can be your identity. It can be your fortified city. But it's all false. Let me move forward. How are we going to break the power of money over us? How are we going to do that? How are we going to do it? The answer is 2 things. And the answer is 2 things. The first thing is to grasp a principle, and second thing is to bring it into your heart through the cross of Jesus Christ. So we need to grasp a principle. Now, what is the principle? The principle is in verse 24. I want you to know that even to you see here, it is all the wisdom literature. It is all through Proverbs, Ecclesiastes, and Psalms, the Old Testament. One person gives freely, yet again even more. I think I put it in the screen. The more you give away, the more you get. Another withholds unduly, but comes to poverty. Right? Okay. Old Testament say you reap, you sow, which means if you give away your money, you become a rich. Not saying. And if you hard your money, you become a poor right away. What people think is what it means. It's if you give money away, it make you more money. But think about it. Agriculture metaphor. When you sow seed, do you get out later in your harvest and reap seed? No, you don't get seed. You get a fruit. So different kind of fruit. It's not talking about you're gonna get, if you give, like people say, if you give $100, you're gonna receive $1,000. I'm not saying that. When you give money, you might have the best thing. When you sow, you're gonna get the fruit. In the same way, when the Bible talks about discarding your money and being extremely generous, the poor and the church, and it say giving it away will bear real fruit. What is the real fruit? In other words, real riches will come to you. This is the principle: Discarding in your gift, your money, your gift. What is gift? Look, let me say this. When you serve the Lord, even when your gifts, even when your donation, when your money, the Lord can provide you peace that any other richest people have. You know what I mean? It's like, that's what he's talking about. When you discard your gift to the poor, this is what happened. When you discard your gift to the poor, you are unity society. So the society. Thank you. If the well uphold and other money and spend all and other themselves, you have divided society. So, but if you give money, let me say this, because it's about giving. If you give your money, I mean, it's good to give money to the good organization. It's good. Give to the poor. It's good. And you need the society. Thank you. That word is hard. You unit that, and it's really amazing. And it's a great. But if you give your money to the ministry. I don't need it. But if you give your money to the church, I think I put it there. The job of the church is bring God and humanity together. I don't know if you get it. I don't know if you can grab it. You can give to a lot of organizations, and that's great. That's amazing. And you unite the society, the communities. Let's walk away from that word. You can unite the society, the communities, and that's great. And people feel really great doing that. That's amazing. But if you give money to the ministry, you're not only unite to the community. You are the tool that the Lord wants to use to unite, to put together God and the humanity. You know what is it's amazing? And so every time when you give money to the church, you give let me read it right here. If you give your money away to the church, the job of the church is bring God and humanity together. What it means is share the gospel. Like we did yesterday. What we did yesterday? It was amazing. It was a lot of work. But I feel the heart, the Lord in my heart telling me, you are doing my job. We invest a lot of money. We don't spend the money. We invest the money in the lives of our community. Because we want to bring people together with God. God and sinner reconciliate and unity God and humanity. It's not only about the money, it's when you give the money as for to continue the gospel. We need to bring how we do that. How we're gonna do that as a church. We are a new church. We are a new English church. Even when I'm struggling with my language, when my words, I think the Lord brought us here. One of each of us. He brought us here. He brought us here to do His work.
It's easy for me, just stay very easy with the Spanish ministry. That's my word. That's my word. That's it, right? I feel like a fish in the water over there. But I'm start feeling like that way here too. And look, how are we going to do that? How are we going to give the money thinking about to bring people to the Lord? We need to bring into our hearts to the cross of Christ, of Jesus Christ. What it means? How do you bring that? How do you do that? Look, and the Macedonian Christians were poor, but give a lot of money to the fame relief, and the Christian and the Corinthians Christians have a lot of money, but weren't being generous. Paul uses the Old Testament and say, you reap what you sow. If you hold on too much, you become a spiritual poor. If you are willing to give your money away, you become a spiritual rich, scarting together and getting discarded. Then he also said in 2 Corinthians, look what he said, for you know the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ, that through he was rich in heaven, yet for your sake he became poor. He emptied himself of his glory and went to the cross, so that you through his poverty might become rich. He's saying the ultimate principle and example of scattering together was the cross, because on the cross Jesus Christ was broken to pieces. He was scattered. They whipped him with 39 lashes. They pulled the very flesh of his body. They broke him, separate him, and nailing him, the bones crunched and split it, and they drove the nails through his hands and feet. On the cross, he was broken to pieces. He was scattered together us. Scattered, is it right? The cross, and let me say this, the cross is the ultimate example of wealth distribution. Jesus Christ, and help me with this word. Jesus Christ is scattered his glory and give everything away. Jesus Christ was scattered in order to gather us. Isn't that amazing? Why are we gathered this morning? Why do we have each other? Why do we love each other? I hope so. Mm-hmm. Because Jesus Christ was scattered and destroyed on the cross. When you see that Jesus Christ did that for you, that everything else your heart will treasure, anything else you set your heart as your main treasure will demand so much for you. It will demand your work and sweat for it. But Jesus Christ is the only treasure who sacrificed for you. I want to make this much money. I want to able to have 2 homes. Any other treasure you set your heart on will make your sacrifice. By Jesus Christ is the only treasure who sacrificed for you. He is the only treasure who could sacrifice for you. When you see him scarlet in order to gather you to his Father and to each other, oh my God. Now there's real security. The cross provides. The cross proves Jesus Christ will do anything for you. There's security. There's a significance. Jesus Christ value you and now to do anything for you. He gave everything for you and for me. When you see the security and significance you have in Him, certainly money no longer become an identity. It no longer becomes insecurity. It's just money. It loses its divine qualities. For people, money is like divine. But when you see what Jesus did in the cross, you treasure Jesus in your heart. The money becomes the vehicle to help you to move just in this earth and to move to worship the Lord with your money. It's just a vehicle to do what you need to do for the Lord, but it's not the ultimate treasure. Jesus is the ultimate treasure. Amen. And then the cross takes us our heart from the money and put it in Jesus Christ. And there is some verse where it say, where is your treasure? Where is your heart? Is your treasure, right? Many people think it's about the money, but it's not about the money. Let me close with this idea before I go. I was thinking about, I love to read books. I can pay $100, $200 for any book. If I love it, I'll pay. Because I love it. You say it's a lot of money, right? But you might love purses. And you can pay $2,000. I mean, or whatever you pay. You just pay, you don't think it's much, right? I'm alright or wrong? My wife sometimes told me, you're gonna buy another book? And I said, I just pay without thinking. Why? Because my treasure. Because that book is a treasure for me. The same way, Jesus become our treasure, so we can give away, not thinking in the way how we give them money. We invest it in the treasure we love.